Hi, I'm June from Little House of Threads. Welcome to my channel. I will be teaching a number of things: baking, some sewing, some cooking, and some DIYs. And today I've got a guest in my kitchen. Her name is Shanoa, and she is my daughter-in-law. She is married to my youngest son, Trevor. And with her being newly married for just less than a year now, right?
Yep.
Okay, she has asked me different times, different questions for different things to make. And so today we are going to make pepperoni rice burritos. And I'm going to be teaching Shanoa a few tips between frying some hamburger, even switching up some healthy ideas too. Trevor and Shanoa, they work away from home quite a bit, and so they live in the fast lane, and they want to know how to make good quality food to take with them out on the road.
Yes.
So I'm teaching some of that along with how to freeze food. So anyway, let's get started, and I'm going to show you how to go about making these burritos. So the first thing that we're going to do, Shanoa, is we're going to fry up hamburger. So I have already fried up 2 pounds, and it's right here in my bowl. I want to show you something about hamburger. The hamburger that you get, it always has, if it's cheap, it has a lot of fat and it has a lot of water to it. Okay, and then you have to drain it off. One of the things that I want to remind you about draining off fat and water off of hamburger is that you do not put it down the drain. Okay, so if you're going to be pouring it into a sieve with a bowl underneath of it, okay, and then you dump it out. Okay, so don't ever put grease down the drain because it can really clog your drain up. Okay.
Okay.
All right. The other thing is too. One of the things that I use a lot of is I use the organic hamburger. And I like this because whenever I buy it, I'm getting more meat for my money's worth. Okay, the next thing that we're going to put in is pasta sauce. And you can choose any kind of pasta sauce that you want to choose, whether it's spaghetti sauce, whether it's pizza sauce. I just use pasta sauce. What I want to show you is this cool tool here. And this is something that I will have linked below that you can actually get from Amazon. This is one of these can openers that when you open your can, you don't cut yourself. And you just pull it right off like that, and that brings off your lid, and it makes it so that there's no sharp edges. So you dump your sauce in to your 2 pounds of hamburger, and the next thing that you're going to do is stir it. Put it in like this, and then we're going to put in a bag of pepperonis. Okay? These little mini pepperonis, they're just the coolest things. I used to use big ones, and once they came out with these, it just worked out really well. You just dump the whole thing in and you stir that up. I've already cooked the rice, and the rice that I have cooked is the instant brown rice. It actually cooks up in about 10 minutes. So it's a whole lot quicker, and it's also very budget friendly to do it this way.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good. And if you want to have something that is, if you want to upgrade it to something healthy, I use this. And this here does take longer to cook. So best thing to do is just read your instructions on your bag. So with that thought in mind, I'm going to use a cup of the rice that is already cooked. We actually cooked up 2 cups of it. What's really nice, whenever you cook more, overcook, like in other words here you have more rice, you have a lot left over.
Right.
You can take this and set it aside in your refrigerator for another meal. All right, so we're gonna stir this here together. So what I have here is the soft wheat tortillas, and that is the best. I love to get the soft because they roll a whole lot easier.
Right.
The other ones crack quicker. So I'm throwing out 8 of them here, and then we're gonna take 1/2 cup of the meat mixture and put it in the middle of these. And I'll tell you what, so that this goes faster, I'm going to give you this, and you can start putting the cheese right on top.
Okay. Okay.
And one of the ways to freeze them is either just put them into Ziploc bags after they're baked, or you can put them into freezer boxes, or any kind of a storage container, really.
Okay.
And they should be able to freeze for, oh, I don't know, up to 2 weeks even.
2 weeks?
Yeah, at least. And like a teaspoon of this, I think sour cream just makes stuff taste so fantastic.
Creamy.
I love it. So in making this recipe, you can leave the pepperoni out of this, and you can use another kind of a sauce if you want to. You can use different kinds of cheeses. It's just pretty much a simple, basic recipe. Okay, and to fold these up, to roll these up, put them in together like this, and roll them. You're gonna wanna put the bottoms to the bottom. And you pull the sides in, and I think I just stuck my arm into some goo. Do you wanna pull that plate over here so that we can get these things filled up? Yep, see I got kind of gushing off the bottom there too.
Yep.
So if you go like that, all right. Okay, so now we're gonna put the top on it, and I have another can of sauce that I'm just going to put across the top of it.
What do you do with the rest of that?
Oh, the rest of this?
Throw it out?
Oh, that's a very good question. No, you don't throw it out. Remember, we're being cost effective.
Okay.
No, this is something very simple to freeze. Pour it into a container.
Okay.
And just pop it into your freezer.
Can it freeze in there for like weeks?
Probably about 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah, but don't freeze it in the can. You do want to pour it into something different.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. And then we will take the rest of the, which actually this is a pound of cheese.
Okay.
Okay? And that's what I had bought. And I think that you might want to use a good bit of this, the whole pound. We're done rolling up. We're done rolling up the burritos.
Okay.
And it's time for these things to go into the oven.
All right.
And you put them in at 350. The best thing to do, of course, whenever you're baking is to start off with starting your oven to preheat it at 350 whenever you're doing these. So we're going to get them put in, and they will be in for 35 minutes. Okay, so while the burritos are in the oven,
Spanking things.
I'm sorry.
Green beans.
While the burritos are in the oven baking at 350, we are going to do the green beans, okay? And the green beans, I like to get them not snapped. I like to get the whole ones. And the boys, remember I told you I had big boys?
Big
You're
boys.
married to one of them, like one of the tallest ones. Anyway, we're gonna take and make one of their favorites, and that is garlic green beans.
Okay.
It's very simple to do. Any time of the day, just very simple. All right, so we're gonna be using like 3 cloves of garlic.
Okay.
And the way you get these off of here, you just break them off. They're actually kind of fun to break, I think anyway. They just kind of fall apart, very easy like that. And I like to take a knife and just, okay, we're gonna put oil into the pan. All right, this is where we're gonna go over to the pan, okay? And we've got the green beans, and we've got our oil, and we've got our garlic that smells absolutely heavenly, and our garlic press. I talked to you about this. This is really a cool item. This is actually something that you can get off of Amazon. I can leave a link below for something that is like this. This thing has been a lifesaver for me. I just love it. And now we're getting ready to fry up the green beans with the garlic. And this is really a simple process. It really is. We're turning on the stove. It's going to be between high and medium. And we're going to put some oil into the pan.
What kind of oil?
I'm using olive oil. And it's probably about 2 tablespoons worth that I'm putting in, or a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons, kind of guess, as you can see it right here going.
All right.
Just throw your frozen beans in. Now I'm going to put in the garlic. And this is how the garlic press works. It's just absolutely a cool thing to have. Mine looks really old. You just press it like that. I take the back of my knife and I swipe it off like that. And I'm going to salt And I am using Himalayan salt, by the way. We're gonna just stir these up just a little bit with the oil. And I'm gonna put my splatter guard on. And yeah, it looks like I've splattered it up a lot in life. Just put that on there like that and let it sit like that. Okay, so we're gonna check these green beans. See if they're at the texture that you like them. Okay, so we're going to cover our green beans with some tin foil so that they will stay nice and yummy until we get the burritos out. Okay, so the green beans we have ready and our burritos are out of the oven. And just gonna let those sit for a little bit because they really are super hot.
Okay.
And yeah, this is something that you can actually take and cut them in half if you want to. So
Okay.
if and whenever you go to freeze them. But if you're going to freeze these, say if you're baking ahead for you and Trev to be going out on the road, you're going to want to, make up a number of them
Okay.
and leave them sit till they're cold. Put them in the refrigerator even, cool them down all the way, and then package them up the way you want to freeze them. Okay. All right, for the first part of this cookie, we have to boil something. We have to boil together the ingredients that it calls for. So we need a half a cup of butter. And we need 2 cups of sugar. A half a cup of butter, by the way, is 1 stick of butter. 2 cups of sugar, and you can pull, we have a big container because I do a lot of baking and a lot of cooking. And so I need big containers of, sugar and flour. Okay. So this is 2 cups of that.
Okay.
And we also need to have, here's our cocoa. And I love to use the special dark chocolate cocoa. It just makes everything that you want to make chocolatey just wonderful. So this here needs to be a 1/4 cup of that. And then we need to have a half a cup of milk.
There you go.
All right. And this all goes on the stove and we're going to start whisking it together. Okay, so we are going to put this on the stove and probably just turn it to like a medium and start whisking this. The butter will melt and the sugar will melt along with the milk. Okay, so this is what a boil looks like. It's been going on now for 3 minutes and we are going to add the rest of the yumminess to this. Okay, so the chocolate is ready and now it's time to put the peanut butter in it. So it is 3/4 cup of peanut butter and Shanoa is going to use a spoon and put it right in there. Alrighty. And of course, if Shanoa is doing this at her house, and when she does do this at her house, because she will do this at her house, right? I won't be there. But for right now, I am going to add the 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And vanilla just makes stuff so wonderful. And of course, I have a big thing of vanilla because I do a lot of baking. And by the way, if you are using the real stuff, you want to go with less. It just is really overpowering. Now it's 3 cups of the quick oats. And again, you don't want to be using the old-fashioned oats. If you do use the old-fashioned oats, they fall apart quicker. So the quick oats is the best. Also, I would suggest that you do not use the it's the stuff that you microwave that they use for cereal. The real quick oats. Instant oats is what it's called. So you're going to use just the quick oats and quickly dump them down the side. How about it? I've got cookie scoops.
Okay.
And of course, I've got different sizes of cookie scoops because I do a lot of baking. So we're just going to cookie scoop these guys up. All right, so the meal is done and we are going to taste test and see how good this actually turned out. So you ready to dig in?
Yes.
All right. This takes a knife and a fork and probably a spoon eventually, but
This looks so good.
make sure that it's,
Is it?
And you know what I really like about it?
Ooh. What?
I love the crunch on the top. So you see, you do not want to cover these with foil whenever you do it. You want to bake them without foil. If you do it with foil, it actually will cause it to sweat and make it gushier. So if you like your burritos to be kind of soft and gushy, then put the foil over it. So let's see what these beans turn out
Wow.
like.
That is so good.
Mmm. Mmm. I love the crunch of the beans.
That makes it
Delicious.
Like
Hey, did you try one of those cookies?
No.
Mmm.
Which I'm gonna.
Go ahead. Oh! That's fantastic. Give me one. Hey, share.
Wow.
So if you've liked what you've seen, like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you all on the next video.